The biggest storm in the last 15 years hit the West Coast yesterday, and they're still cleaning up from the aftermath. In San Francisco, hundreds of utility workers fanned out during the day today across Northern California to restore power to tens of thousands of people still left in the dark after yesterday's big storm. Mayor Frank Jordan of San Francisco declared a local state of emergency. He said falling trees, broken windows, and other wind-related problems caused $4 million to city parks alone. Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses also remain without power today in parts of Washington state in the wake of the big storm yesterday. The severe weather closed bridges, shut down ferry service, sent trees crashing into homes and power lines, and knocked out power to 365,000 electric customers at the height of the storm. And you know what? We have yet another system moving in. You can see the spin in the atmosphere here. This a potent storm, but it's nowhere near as strong as the last one. Still, high wind watch along the Oregon coast, and probably going to be upgraded to a warning as winds could gust as high as 80 miles per hour once again along the Oregon coast as we head through the morning hours and on through the midday hours. Watch out along the Washington coast too, and there'll be some gusty winds around Portland and Seattle and up and down the Willamette Valley and out on the Olympic Peninsula. Very stormy pattern as this system comes in. Not as strong as our last storm, but still fairly potent. Another piece of energy moved right through central California today, brought some thunderstorms and some snow up around 5,000 feet or so in the Sierra Nevada. Snow levels in the Cascades, by the way, will be about 4,500 feet to 5,000 feet as you head into parts of the southern Cascades. Mostly rain showers there now, heavier rain moving in during the day tomorrow with the next system. Again, you can see rain still going on here in the Sacramento or San Joaquin Valley, I guess I should say, as this upper-level system starts to pull out of the state. Rain around Las Vegas and eventually maybe even pulling through the Phoenix area. Heavy snow warnings out for some of the southwestern mountains of Utah from this particular storm system. And as we head into Southern California, you can see there's some rain showers around Southern Cal, but nothing that's really too heavy. The heavier rain is definitely up on the Grapevine. And as you head more up toward Fresno and just south of Stockton, some locally heavy showers. That'll continue to progress east and dissipate as we head through the overnight hours. Let's go back to the weather maps, and again, you can see there is some snow in the Sierra Nevada we have depicted here. A little bit in the Cascades, rain showers otherwise, and then the leading edge of our new batch of wind and rain just about ready to pull into the northwest. Lots of fog out here in the central areas of the country, reducing visibilities, and underneath some of those clouds, we're talking about freezing drizzle in parts of Iowa, Minnesota, and on up into Wisconsin as well. Temperature-wise, it was a cold day in Williston, Pierre, and Lincoln. It just barely got to freezing. But a beautiful day for this time of the year in Denver at 60, 68 at Albuquerque, 74 in Phoenix, 50 in Reno, and 49 in Seattle, where it's currently 46 with rain showers in the area. Same deal in Portland at 48, 36 in Spokane. It's 50 at Sacramento. Again, there is rain here from Merced down to Fresno, where it's 51. It's 60 at Long Beach and 61 at San Diego. No earthquakes to report to you here in Southern California. A couple, one just east of Monterey Bay, which is actually a little over 4 on the Richter scale. That's a pretty good tremor. And another one up here near Lake Tahoe, a little over 3 on the Richter scale. Nothing in the Pacific Northwest, and nothing to report to you earthquake tremor-wise from Alaska. Big mess shaping up here. In fact, we've already had huge amounts of ice, up to a half-inch thick, coating power lines and trees and bringing down the tree limbs here and power lines up in northern Ohio. I-75 near the Toledo area was a skating rink a couple of hours ago, but temperatures are starting to warm up there now. Still some freezing rain from near Pittsburgh up to about Detroit and on over to Milwaukee and Green Bay. Farther north from there, it's still snow. Places like Duluth and Minnesota has picked up about almost a foot of snow, although it was helped out a little bit there by an easterly wind flow. A town called Cloquet in Minnesota picking up about 8 inches of snow. And there's some snow in central Pennsylvania, although most of it light, freezing rain even on down toward Baltimore and Washington. All right, let's go back to the maps and check out our forecast here. Here we go. Storm approaches the northwest with a lot of wind and rain, snow levels creeping upwards a bit, then dropping back down as this cold front goes through. Rain showers as far south, maybe at San Francisco by Thursday evening. Southern California should have a nice day, though. High at the Civic Center, 65. Central California, some rain showers moving into Ukiah and maybe Red Bluff, but staying dry in San Francisco through much of the day. 49 for a high in Reno. Wind and rain along the Oregon and Washington coast, spreading inland during the day as we head on through Thursday as yet another storm moves inland. Now, we don't have any cold Arctic air to be found anywhere in the country. It will be cold enough to support ice and snow to the north, though, on Saturday. Some 60s and 70s down near the Gulf Coast. So, again, we're not looking at any cold major Arctic outbreaks, definitely, as we head on through this weekend. That doesn't mean it can't be stormy, though. Still a leftover mix of rain, sleet, snow, and ice in New England on Friday. There's some more energy pulling in off the Pacific into the central Rockies and then out into the plains. And this could spin up into a fairly big storm, we think, over the Southland on Monday with a lot of rain, a little bit of snow on the northern end of it, and then eventually perhaps even some severe weather with this. In the northwest, more scattered showers as yet another system moves on in. With all these storms, skiing has to be good, right? We'll check it coming up.
The Z, SCC's newest patented idea for winter driving control. Z product design guarantees constant contact with the road and requires no adjustment on the inside of the tire. Could these be the best traction products for safety, convenience, and durability?
SCC for the perfect traction you need.
Come softly from port, warm the day tenderly with your heart. Come and stay. Quietly we meet there where times are gently stirred. Softly we meet there where hearts are gently held. Swiftness warms the heart.
And now your local forecast. Accurate, convenient, and dependable. Only on the Weather Channel.
I've had another job offer.
How can we change your mind?
Long John Silver's popcorn fish or new country-style popcorn shrimp. A quarter pound is just $1.99.
Maybe if you gave me your popcorn fish.
Keep in touch, kid.
Long John Silver's, America's place to go for amazing shrimp and fish.
Are you doing your part to control litter box odor?
Yeah, I scoop and scoop.
No, him.
What?
Only Fresh Step Scoop has odor neutralizers that freshen whenever he steps, controlling odor between scoops. So things are fresher. Fresh Step Scoop.
Hurricanes 95.
We now are number one strike probability at 71%.
From the intense preparation to the final assault.
The roof just blew off.
Witness the most active hurricane season in 62 years.
It's just gone.
Join the Weather Channel for a powerful documentary, Hurricanes 95 Season on Edge, Sunday at 8 Eastern. Sponsored by Hewlett-Packard Home Printers. Printers so good that your documents will truly come to life.
Hey, what do you know? Jackson Hole, Wyoming has some new snow, 13 inches of it, 55% open and skiable. Powder conditions there. Packed powder in Aspen and Snowmass and groomed for Sun Valley, but look at that, 18 inches of new snow. 4 from Mount Bachelor and Groom, 2 at Keystone and Powder, and you need to call ahead for Heavenly, California. We do have some snow in the forecast for the Sierra Nevada and the Cascades, not to mention the Wasatch and the San Juans and the Sangre de Cristo. So good news all around. Here's a look at some more resort reports.
Wall's quality outerwear is available at a retailer near you.
Hi, I'm Dennis Smith. Join us each weekend for Exposures. That's Saturdays and Sundays, noon Eastern, here on the Weather Channel.
Sun, snow, rain, or fog. Know what to expect. Just 95 cents a minute. Dial 1-900-WEATHER and connect.
The last thing this planet needs is another goofy gadget taking up valuable space. Yeah. Must be why Proform invented the Space Saver crosswalk. They don't call it Space Saver for nothing. Get it? Then get it.
Soon, you'll both be taking up less space. Space Saver by Proform.
you're about to travel, watch the 5-day business planner here on the Weather Channel at 20 minutes after every hour. You get a comprehensive national report that covers the forecast over the next 5 days. Watch the 5-day business planner coming up soon on the Weather Channel.
All right, Alaska and Hawaii, we're going to check out both of them for you and look at the satellite view with the fronts put on them for you. That's kind of convenient, don't you think? Look at this area of low pressure just waiting in the wings there in the Gulf of Alaska, waiting to move on into the Pacific Northwest. However, high pressure in control as you head way on down south into Hawaii, where things are looking really good. 74 degrees at Hilo, 77 in Kahului, and 78 for Honolulu. At the airport in Kauai at Lahui, it's about 75. Heading north to Alaska, it is brutal. Look at this. We're talking about sub-zero conditions in Barrow and Umiat and Bettles and even McGrath. About 2 in Bethel and 22 in Anchorage. But you factor in the wind and it feels like it's about 23 below in Fairbanks. Feels like 48 below in Barrow. Are we going to see some brutally cold air in the forecast over the next 5 days? Stay tuned.
The key question in safe winter driving is not whether you can go. It's whether you can stop. SCC's patented Z products guarantee excellent stopping control because they make constant contact with the road. Could these be the best traction products for safety, convenience, and durability?
SCC for the perfect traction you need.
Hi, I'm the head coach for Rent-A-Wreck. But don't let the name fool you. We search the country for quality vehicles, giving you the best value in the rental business. We go through hundreds of vehicles before deciding on one. And that's true for everything we rent, cars, trucks, and vans. Hey, try Rent-A-Wreck. Quality vehicles, priced right.
For real value in renting a car, truck, or van, call the Rent-A-Wreck location nearest you. Mention the Rent-A-Wreck family to receive your special bonus.
Complete the park. Complete the park. Got a ready, baby. With a power. Ow! Mary Jane. Ow!
Hurricanes 95.
Winds 265.
Forecasting, tracking.
We now are #1 strike probability at 71%.
The intense preparation and the final assault.
The roof just blew off.
Witness the most active hurricane season in 62 years.
It's just gone.
Join the Weather Channel for a powerful documentary, Hurricanes 95 Season on Edge, Sunday night at 8 Eastern.
This segment of the 5-Day Business Planner is brought to you by Kelly Services, your employment source.
Before we get into the details of what's going to be happening over the next 5 days, we'll kind of set you up here as what's been going on recently. Of course, yesterday we had our huge storm move into the west. What happened to it? Where did it go? Is this what's left of it, moving through the northern plains? Not really. A lot of that energy rotated up into British Columbia and kind of fell apart. If there is any energy left from it, it might be some pulling out here into the northern plains, but most of that energy pulled right up into Canada and just kind of bit the dust. Right now we have a lot of fog, very dense fog out through the central plains from Kansas, including Kansas City up through Omaha and Des Moines and right on up almost to the Twin Cities. So very dense fog there, some freezing drizzle in places too. So not a good night to be out traveling there. Farther on to the north, we have some snow, and some of that snow's been locally heavy, particularly where Lake Superior's been getting involved. This is called lake-enhanced snow. We had a warm front approaching. The winds came screaming out of the east, and that picked up some moisture, so in effect, you could call it lake effect snow. But since there was another storm there too, it kind of all got thrown together. The end result was, about a foot of snow there in Duluth. Excuse me, a little bit farther on to the northwest at Cloquet, about 8 inches worth of snow. A very wintry scene. Right now the snow's tapering off there a little bit, and we're following a little bit of snow still right across the northern parts of Michigan and on across Lake Erie in Ontario. excuse me, and right on over into parts of Pennsylvania as well as into New York State. Most of that snow on the light side. I did notice that Harrisburg, Pennsylvania has picked up an inch of snow, actually down at Middletown, an inch of snow in the last 6 hours, and it is still snowing there, but probably about ready to go over to sleet and freezing rain. Now we've got one of these classic mess setups here. We're calling it the northeastern nuisance, but actually it stretches all the way from the western Great Lakes right on over into the northeast. A lot of very shallow cold air, Arctic air in place, only grudgingly giving ground here. Moisture from the south and a very broad southwesterly flow overrunning the cold air. It's overtaking it as the cold air is retreating. The warm air can't really scour the cold air out. It has to go up and over it, the cold air being more dense. And as you lift the air, it cools it, even though it is somewhat warmer than what we're talking about here. And that condenses the moisture out in the form of clouds and, of course, precipitation, which falls down into the cold air. Imagine this is our little wedge of cold air here. Imagine this is to the south, this is to the north. Here's all the precipitation coming up here, and as it rides up our little incline of cold air, it gets into progressively colder air until it's thick enough to be snow all the way down. Where it's a little bit thinner, it starts off as rain, then refreezes into sleet. And if it's a really thin band, you get freezing rain, and that's exactly what we looked at tonight in northern Ohio, where there was a half-inch of ice on some roadways, and I-75 near Toledo was a skating rink. We expect some conditions like that in Pennsylvania, on up into New York State, and starting off as freezing rain right now in Washington and Baltimore. Eventually the snow will go to freezing rain in New York and Philly and even up in Boston. Definitely colder here. It's going to take about a day to scour a lot of this out. Staying rather mild over the deep south. Can't really argue with 60s and 70s. And look at South Florida. From Orlando all the way down to Miami and the Gold Coast. Temperatures in the 80s. Staying fairly mild on into Saturday. Nowhere do we see any cold Arctic air right on through the early part of next week. But again, that doesn't mean it can't be stormy, and we think we are getting into a fairly stormy pattern. Still a wintry mess or mix left over in the Northeast Friday, just tapering to some snow in northern New England by Saturday. New West Coast system moves in, crosses over the Rockies, and then starts to really wrap itself up out here in the Central Plains. Some snow for Denver, and then pulling eastbound, some snow maybe up near Chicago and Des Moines, but rain and maybe even severe weather in the southeast. We'll have to wait and see. We'll check Florida next.
Rush hour's over, and for those of you still at home, it's a great day to be out on the go.
Don't you miss using all the skills and experience you've acquired over the years? We thought so. Call 1-800-YES-KELLY to put them back to work. Kelly Services, your employment source.
For more information about Kelly Services, call 1-800-YES-KELLY today.
I've got kids, so I've got stains. That's why I only use Clorox 2.
Clorox 2 has special stain-fighting enzymes that lift stains, plus more brighteners than other color-safe bleaches.
Clorox 2. It's tough on stains, easy on colors.
All right, we check out that Florida forecast for you right now and look at the satellite view in motion. Things have been pretty nice in the Sunshine State today, and notice that we don't have a whole lot of cloudiness. A few showers have been popping up around Melbourne and Daytona Beach, but that is about it. We do have some cloudiness rolling on into parts of the Mississippi Valley, and we may see some scattered showers for you tomorrow, and some more rain moving into the rest of the southeast later on in the time period. How much sunshine will we see tomorrow? Well, the UV index is going to be about 3 for you in Jacksonville as well as Tampa Bay. Water temperatures really cooling down a bit, especially now that tropical season is over. Look at that. Your high temperatures tomorrow will be in the 70s in Clearwater and Orlando, probably about 84 in Fort Myers and 82 in Miami Beach. Stay tuned. We'll talk about the big storm in the west.
With a hearth-side fire log, its realistic log shape gives you a beautiful fire in minutes without chemicals to alter the flames. It's a clean-burning fire that lasts all evening. Hearth-side fire log, a natural stress reliever.
This fall, get fired up for your favorite NFL team. Pick up a case of Hearthside Fire Logs and get a great-looking team sweatshirt at a hot price. See a participating retailer for full details.
Available at your favorite discount retailer, supermarket, or home center.
Right now, Karen Geiger isn't thinking about folic acid. She may not know it's more important for a woman to have folic acid in her system at the time of conception and for the first month of pregnancy to help reduce the risk of certain birth defects. And she may not be aware Florida orange juice is an excellent source of folic acid. She thought by drinking a large glass of orange juice, she'd just been doing something healthy for herself. 100% pure Florida orange juice. Are you drinking enough?
Watch the 5-Day Planner 20 minutes after the hour, every hour, right here on the Weather Channel. The 5-Day Planner is sponsored in part by Kelly Services.
And now your local forecast. Accurate, convenient, and dependable. Only on the Weather Channel.
Let's check out the western half of the United States, and as we look at the satellite view, it's still awfully stormy. We've seen some more scattered showers and a little bit of snow in the higher elevations, and you can see an area of low pressure just off of the coast here of British Columbia about to move on into place. Well, we have some rain to tell you about in parts of California, snow in the Sierra Nevada and the Cascades, and more snow on the way. High temperatures today were in the 50s in Reno and San Francisco, and the 50s in Billings, Montana. It's about 45 last time we checked in Seattle, Washington, 41 in Ukiah, and about 59 for Long Beach. As far as earthquakes go, well, none reported across Southern California. We had a couple in Northern California, one measuring between 3 and 4 and the other one measuring between 4 and 5 on the Richter scale. Nothing in the Pacific Northwest or in Alaska. Well, here's what's happening across the rest of the country. We have a mess on our hands in places like the upper Midwest. A lot of fog, rain, ice, and snow. Now in Detroit, you've changed over from snow earlier in the evening to freezing rain. Now it's all rain. And the same is true in Cleveland. Well, freezing rain is the rule right now in D.C. and Philly. We are seeing some snow in parts of central Pennsylvania. So everything you can get, you are getting across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. And this comes on the heels of a lot of snow just a few days ago and some brutal cold. Take a look at this report.
It's tough and it's really slippery. I'm a scared fall.
11-year-old Todd Ranta is having his second snow day this week, but it's no vacation.
He spent the day shoveling over 5 feet of snow off the roof of his father's business. Why do they want you to clean it off?
So that the roof doesn't cave in.
We want to get all the streets plowed. And that doesn't mean it's going to be 3-lane traffic. We want to get the plows through every street, and I understand that possibly by tonight that will be the case.
Right now I'm waist deep in snow. This isn't even the deepest spot. We're at a car dealership. As you can see behind me, the cars are still buried.
It's about 250 cars, trucks, trying to dig out. You know, nobody can look at these cars like this. Can't even see the car. So we're going to be digging out all day today and probably tomorrow too.
But car dealers aren't the most desperate to dig out. These students, like most residents, have been trapped in their driveways for days.
I have a Jeep, and I've been driving around with a lot of my friends and taking people to get groceries or diapers for another friend of mine.
You're a popular guy this week.
I guess so. I guess they all like me, huh?
But for the most part, residents simply shrug off the record-breaking temperatures as just another part of winter in the Sioux.
But we're handling this. We're Europeans. We're tough. We can handle this.
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen that much snow. Well, good luck to you. Well, let's check out what's happening right now. We have some snow and some freezing rain and just plain rain across this particular region, and it's all headed towards the northeast. We think we're going to see some problems tomorrow in New York City, Philadelphia, D.C., and eventually into Boston. So tune back into the Weather Channel. We'll keep you posted. Across the west, we're talking rain in California, Washington State, and Oregon, and more in the forecast. All right, let's head back to the maps and show you the current scenario. Here's where we have our mess. Here's where we have our scattered showers and a little bit of snow. High temperatures tomorrow are going to be very, very mild across the deep south. Are you noticing that? A far cry from what we saw over the weekend with the brutally cold air in place. Thursday afternoon, still looking at icy conditions in the northeast with some rain and snow, depending on where you are. The forecast for the west calls for that system to get closer and closer to the western seaboard and finally move on shore, with the possibility of some scattered showers from Seattle into Arcadia and some windy conditions as well. High pressure in control for the Four Corners. This is the Four Corners region right here. Temperatures 50 degrees in Long Beach tomorrow morning with an afternoon high of about 65. We expect 77 for Palm Springs, 20s at the Tahoe Valley region, but tomorrow afternoon you'll top out about 40 degrees. And here we go with that possibility of rain all day in Seattle and Salem and Coos Bay. Do expect some windy conditions there as well with the approach of that frontal boundary, and looks like a cold rainy day for you, Space Needle, and also looking at rain for Salem. Now, the rest of the country and into the weekend is going to get a little interesting because we're going to watch some colder temperatures coming down the pike in association with our next big storm system. Notice, though, that we don't have to deal with the brutally cold air anywhere across the country, not like we saw this past weekend. So that's some good news as you're doing your last-minute Christmas shopping. You won't have to bundle up quite as much. High temperatures on Monday, we have got 30s and 40s into the nation's heartland, but 60s up ahead of that frontal boundary with some moisture that's returning too. So setting up a clash zone, setting up the possibility of strong thunderstorms, perhaps. We'll get to that in a minute. Friday, still looking at that mix in parts of Pennsylvania, New York State, and southern New England, with rain to the south of that. And then the rain clears out for the southeast on Saturday, and we get a primarily snow event for you in the northeast Saturday. Here comes that next storm system I was telling you about. It plows into Texas and Oklahoma with the possibility of scattered thunderstorms, and then all of that energy makes its way into parts of the southeast. We're going to take you traveling coming up next.
Want your toilet really clean? Pour in Clorox bleach after every flush. Or better yet, drop Clorox Automatic Toilet Cleaner in your tank. It cleans with the power of Clorox bleach every time you flush. Clorox Automatic.
Santa, I've had another job offer.
Oh, no. How can we change your mind? How about a raise? Company sled?
No one can resist Long John Silver's popcorn fish or new country-style popcorn shrimp. A quarter pound with fries is just $1.99.
Maybe if you gave me your popcorn fish.
Keep in touch, kid.
Right now, collect a holiday crystal for just 99 cents each.
Long John Silver's, America's place to go for amazing shrimp and fish.
If you want relief from minor arthritis pain, turn up the heat on arthritis. Just minutes after applying Ultra Strength Bengay, you can actually see the heat. It's the strongest, most advanced Bengay ever, with the heating power of 3 pain relievers. So turn up the heat on arthritis.
The first multimedia CD-ROM from the Weather Channel. Everything weather is the essential guide to the wise and wonders of weather. See tornadoes from every angle. Discover fascinating facts and features about these terrifying twisters. Explore a complete climate database of more than 500 U.S. cities. Go global to look up information for international destinations. Plan each day with a beautiful weather photograph using the Daily Planner. In-depth analysis of hurricanes, winter storms, and thunderstorms. Read and print out 95 articles explaining amazing weather phenomena. View over 250 dramatic weather photographs and see over 40 one-of-a-kind video clips. Connect to a local forecast for over 200 U.S. and international cities. This easy-to-use weather reference CD-ROM is a great gift for the whole family. Now available for Windows, in stores everywhere, or order directly from the Weather Channel for only $49.95. Call 1-800-633-2222. That's 1-800-633-2222. Order now.
And now your local forecast. Accurate, convenient, and dependable. Only on the Weather Channel.
Hewlett-Packard's real-life imaging system. The print quality of HP's new DeskJet 600 series printers for the home is so good that it's sometimes hard to know the difference between what's real and what's just really well printed. HP home printers. Just what you had in mind.
You're watching the amazing cleaning power of new Soft Scrub Gel. So powerful, it cleans this tough stain right before your eyes with no scrubbing. Then it rinses clean away. New Soft Scrub Gel.
Hi, I'm Dennis Smith. Join us each weekend for Exposures. That's Saturdays and Sundays, noon Eastern, here on the Weather Channel.
Here's a look at international weather. We'll start it off with the high temperatures Wednesday, and it's a pretty typical temperature regime. That is to say, Central Europe on into Eastern Europe and on over into Russia. Coldest air. You get the Siberian high pressure areas building here, the continental Siberian air moving through and kind of takes up residence here. When you get closer to the water, like the Mediterranean or the Atlantic Ocean, then things get modified just a little bit. So a pretty typical pattern. With the cold air in place, there is some snow flying north of Moscow up towards St. Petersburg. And check this out. Snow in France around Paris, it looks like. Highs barely up into the 30s with 20s from the Alps all the way on over into Eastern Europe. Showers in Athens expected. London, we'll call it mostly cloudy, but chilly, a high barely up to 40. Rain in Madrid, rain in Rome. Not too many places where it's dry, it looks like. In Paris, we'll have some snow, we think. Vienna, a few snow showers. So if you're traveling to Paris, pack some warm clothes.
I'm Merlin Olsen, and this is Utah. I'm here, and you're there. This is Utah. Shouldn't you be here?
Sun, snow, rain, or fog. Know what to expect. Just 95 cents a minute. Dial 1-900-WEATHER and connect.
Why do I keep feeling like this? When will I get over it? I can't take this anymore. What is it? And what does it mean?
Are you troubled by feelings you can't explain? The answer is just a phone call away.
The future, what does it hold for you? Will you do the right thing? Will you make the right choice? Hello, sweet spirits. I'm Kenny Kingston. The psychics on my hotline are there to help you take control of your destiny.
I never thought about calling a psychic before, but I really needed some help in making a big decision, and that's why I called Kenny's Psychic Hotline. He helped me so much.
If you really want to make changes in your life, call Kenny's Psychic Hotline, because they give you the information that you really need.
All it takes is one phone call to the Kenny Kingston Psychic Hotline.
My psychics are there to help you make your wishes and your dreams become a reality. Don't wait, please. Make that telephone call now.
watching the Weather Channel for accurate forecasts at your convenience. Weather you can always turn to.
Time for a look at some radars. We have some active weather. We'll start in the northwest. Just check out the last couple of images here. Notice, yeah, we're starting to get some rain just offshore here again. That's the beginnings of our next storm system, just about ready to pull in. Winds are going to be increasing along the coast here, and the rain's going to be moving back in too. So another stormy 24 hours, I think, for the Pacific Northwest. Now we're just getting rid of one system. You can see how that's moving to the south and east and raining around Las Vegas and Lake Mead and on over toward the Grand Canyon. Still some rain in the southern areas of the San Joaquin Valley, and more rain starting to show up just off the northern California coast. I think this next system will be pulling in a little bit farther north though. Again, here's a pretty good shot of the rain moving along the Strip in Vegas, generally staying north of the Phoenix vicinity for the time being. Now as we head on over toward the northeast, we'll put a radar in motion that shows freezing rain, snow, sleet, all the way from Baltimore and Philly back to Duluth. A real mess in the northeast overnight.
If you want relief from minor arthritis pain, turn up the heat on arthritis. Just minutes after applying ultra-strength Bengay, you can actually see the heat. It's the strongest, most advanced Bengay ever, with the heating power of 3 pain relievers. So turn up the heat on arthritis.
It's out there, waiting on your steps, your sidewalk, your driveway. It laughs at rock salt. It's ice. It fears only heat. Prestone introduces new driveway heat. Each concentrated pellet heats up like a furnace to melt up to 4 times more ice than rock salt with no messy residue. Put your driveway in the Prestone zone with new driveway heat and kiss your ice goodbye.
New Prestone Driveway Heat melts up to 4 times more ice than rock salt.
Wherever you're waking up, there's freshly brewed coffee by the cup.
Folgers Coffee Singles is ground roast Folgers in its own filter for 1 great cup. Anywhere
Best part of waking up
is Singles in your cup.
We're going to take a look at your winter weather update, and it's sponsored by SCC for the traction you need. Well, we have been watching the western half of the United States very closely because we had a record-breaking storm move into the region, the biggest storm in the last 15 years, actually. And we had winds clocked up to 100 miles per hour right along the coast of Oregon. And here are just some of the highlights. The peak gusts on Tuesday. Angel Island, that's near San Francisco Bay, 103 miles per hour. The Cliff House sustained damage. And in Sea Lion Caves, 119 mile per hour winds were clocked. Now that is like hurricane force winds hitting the coast. All kinds of power outages and trees down and power lines down. 6 fatalities, and most of those occurred because of trees falling on cars or homes. The rain continues in California tonight, as well as Washington State and Oregon. And we have a little bit of snow to tell you about in the Cascades and the Sierra Nevada. Now, we've had too much rain in the northwest and not quite enough rain in California. Here's what I'm talking about. In Portland, check out how much is normal for this time of year. Since November 1st, typically you see about 7.5 inches of rain. Well, since November the 1st, you've seen over 13 inches of rain. Contrast that with San Francisco. Normally you would have seen about 6 inches of rain, maybe a little over that. Well, you've seen about 6, and 4 inches of that rain fell in the last 3 days. So we saw a little too much rain in a short amount of time, but hey, we will take it. We needed the precipitation desperately here. Rain still in the forecast. Snow still in the forecast, and we could pick up as much as 6 inches of snow in some of those ski resorts. Well, into the northeast we take you, and we have snow, we have sleet and freezing rain, and we have just plain rain. It's a messy situation, no doubt about that. Let's go to the radars and show you what's happening. Narrow band of rain to the south, but in between we have the freezing rain and then snow to the north of that. It is just an unbelievable mess. And in the northwest, it's primarily a rain event right along the coast, and as Jeff was mentioning earlier, already right here, boop, you can see that the new rain is starting to enter the picture as a new front is getting ready to move on shore. It will arrive tomorrow in the Pacific Northwest.
and Northern California is also in for some more precipitation. San Francisco to Fresno to Bakersfield, few showers and thunder showers have been seen today and tonight, and you can see the rain continuing around Bakersfield even as we speak. Tell you what, we are going to show you what's happening in the Northeast with the snow and the rain and the freezing rain. Now, Detroit was at one point snow tonight. Then it changed over to freezing rain. Now it is all rain. Cleveland, all rain. Pittsburgh was freezing rain, and soon you will be changing over to all rain too. So, interesting developments in Ohio. About half an inch of ice glazed over on the roadways. Dangerous traveling for you, and now it's raining on top of that. Temperatures quite warm to the south of this front, but we do have some cold air in place right across the northern tier. What's going to happen tomorrow? Well, as the warm air moves up over that shallow area of Arctic air, we are going to run into some problems. We call this overrunning. And what happens is, if the moisture runs into temperatures below 32 degrees in the lower levels of the atmosphere and the higher upper levels of the atmosphere, well, it stays all snow. It's when you get pockets of warm air and then pockets of cold air that you run into problems, because the snow can melt in above 32 degree temperatures, and then if it moves back into cold air at the surface, we get freezing rain. And that's what you need to worry about, and that's what we've been seeing tonight. Freezing rain tomorrow morning, possibly in D.C. and Philadelphia. Still looking at freezing rain in both of those locales right now. Changing over to light rain tomorrow afternoon. New York City will probably start as light snow and end up freezing rain, then finally rain. And in Boston, we're thinking snow, 2 to 4 inches by tomorrow afternoon. Elsewhere, this is what it's looking like, with the mountainous regions picking up about 3 to 6 inches of snow. And already we've seen significant amounts of snow in northern Minnesota around Duluth, over 10.5 inches of snow, and you had that already by 9 o'clock this evening. Stay tuned and we'll take you traveling.
The Z, SCC's newest patented idea for winter driving control. Z product design guarantees constant contact with the road and requires no adjustment on the inside of the tire. Could these be the best traction products for safety, convenience, and durability?
SCC, for the perfect traction you need.
Frankly, it makes me nervous.
It's not exactly what I call good news.
Hey, good for you. Bad. Very bad for plumbers like me. The problem is, professional strength liquid plumber works too good.
This liquid drain opener won't dilute in standing water. Stuff cuts right to the problem.
For hair clogs, nothing's faster, except me.
I hate it. Professional strength liquid plumber drain opener. Sorry, plumbers.
Hi, I'm Dennis Smith. Join us each weekend for Exposures. That's Saturdays and Sundays, noon Eastern, here on the Weather Channel.
And now it's time for the Michelin Drivers Report, brought to you by Michelin and your participating Michelin dealers.
Messy conditions? Oh yeah, we have them tonight. There's a lot of dense fog here and freezing drizzle. Northern Iowa on up into Minnesota. A lot of the snow that had been flying around Duluth has pretty much started to quiet down a bit. About a foot of new snow on the ground there, helped out by an easterly wind flow off of Lake Superior. Freezing rain has moved across parts of lower Michigan, although it has changed to rain in Detroit and near Cleveland, and Pittsburgh's about ready to go over to rain after having been freezing rain just about all evening long. Freezing rain around Baltimore and Washington. It's going to take a while to warm up there, that's for sure. And on up toward Philly and New York, it's going to start off as snow, then go to freezing rain. Could be some significant ice accumulations, particularly just inland or north and west of those major cities. And could be 2 to 4 inches of snow in Boston right on into the day on Thursday. Could be pretty messy. Another batch of rain moving into the west. Coming up, Kim Perez. Stay tuned.
Presenting the ultimate tire for your sport utility vehicle, the Michelin LTX. Michelin's technological advances in sidewall and tread design give it a smoother, quieter ride than you might ever expect from a 4x4 tire. Yet it's rugged enough tough enough, Michelin enough to get you through anything. The LTX series from Michelin.
Find Michelin tires at this dealer near you, because so much is riding on your tires.
No matter how much you plan, if business travel keeps you on the road or up in the air, you're probably used to the unexpected. At the Weather Channel, we know the weather can slow you down. That's why we offer the business travel forecast. Get the information you need to plan for your travel and know what conditions to expect when you reach your destination. The business travel forecast on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to. And now your local forecast.
Good morning. Thanks for checking in here at the Weather Channel. Kim Perez and my partner Dave Schwartz with you this hour. Well,